My name is Julie Cantor, and I'm the IB Diploma Program Coordinator. The aim of this presentation is to provide information regarding WL's IB Diploma Program in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. I believe it's always important to go back to IB's mission to remember the core values that have shaped the diploma program. While the entire mission is powerful, there are a few things that jump out given our current world crisis. For me, those words are caring and compassionate. Our young people are experiencing the world in a way that is so different from what others even a year ago experienced. Being caring means showing empathy, compassion, and respect for others. It also means acting to make a positive difference in the lives of others and in the world around us. IB has modeled that care and compassion for others as they've made changes to the IB Diploma Program in the spring of 2020 and looking forward to the 2020-2021 school year. They've maintained a page on their website to keep students, families, and schools updated about the changes and expectations. The IB Diploma Program is a 2-year program spanning 11th grade and 12th grade. Those students begin their preparation for the program much earlier than that. Our 9th and 10th grade students take courses that will best prepare them for the content and work they will experience in the diploma program. During the fourth quarter of 2020, WL Instruction supported students as they prepared for the IB Diploma Program. Instruction during the 2020-2021 school year will continue to support students as they move toward the IB Diploma Program. As already mentioned, the IB Diploma Program spans 11th and 12th grades. Full IB Diploma candidates take 6 IB courses spread out over at least 5 subject groups. These classes must represent a balance between higher level or HL courses and standard level or SL courses. IB requires a minimum number of instructional hours based on the level of the course. During the spring of 2020, the APS Continuous Learning Plan allowed for IB courses to continue to introduce new content after school closure. This action, along with the planned schedule for the coming school year, will ensure that the WL-IB program remains in compliance with program requirements for both instructional hours and for the curricular content. Regardless of whether a student is a full IB diploma candidate or if a student is a course candidate and taking a smaller number of IB classes, each student can be assured that they will still receive the full curriculum as mapped out by IB. Full IB diploma candidates must complete the core components successfully to be eligible to earn the IB diploma. IB is committed to the core of the diploma program. Students will continue to participate in and work on these components. Our CAS coordinator, Liz Burgos, has worked with students throughout the spring as they adapted their experiences in a community first under stay-at-home orders and later under safer-at-home orders. IB has provided guidance for creatively adapting experiences, but fully expects students to be able to complete CAS requirements. Jen Dean is our extended essay coordinator. She's been meeting virtually with students during August to check in on their progress and respond to any questions. Seniors will continue to work on their extended essays independently and will follow the same timeline that has been established. Some students may need to alter how they collect data. This will mainly impact students working on science extended essays or essays that require field work. IB has provided guidance for supervisors of the extended essay. Those supervisors will work with individual students to ensure that the work on their essays will continue to meet the established criterion. Juniors will begin their work on the extended essay during the second quarter in this coming year. Expectations for the Theory of Knowledge TOK course have not changed. IB has published guidance to assist teachers with course expectations as well as expectations for the core components. IB has, for example, provided suggestions for turning these adjustments into real-world learning experience. A great example of this is the fieldwork expectation for social anthropology. Quoting from the IB supporting guidance, "The current situation may make it impossible for students to return to their fieldwork site, but this is also the reality for many anthropologists who, because of the current situation or for other reasons, may not be able to return to the fieldwork site. In spite of this, anthropologists may follow up on research questions using alternative methods that can be applied using technology." Additionally, then, students are asked to reflect on the changes presented when fieldwork site or informants or interlocutors are no longer accessible, and what can be learned from the process of using technology as an alternative means to collect data. IB has always approached assessment in a way to provide students multiple opportunities to demonstrate their learning. Assessments are divided into internal assessments referred to as IAs and external assessments. Internal assessments are designed by IB. Students complete them at some point during the 2-year course. The assessment is delivered by the classroom teacher. These assessments usually take the form of a written paper or investigation in which students apply their learning for that class to a real-world application of their choosing. The teacher works with the student throughout the process, providing feedback and direction prior to the final version being submitted. The classroom teacher then scores the IA using a criterion rubric provided by IB. These IAs can count for anywhere between 20 to 40% of a student's final score in the course. For external assessments, there are some, a small number, that are completed at the school prior to the May examinations. These assessments are for classes in the language and literature group, for classical languages like Latin, and for courses in the arts group, including film, theater, and visual arts. These external assessments are completed at WL and then sent to IB for external assessment by examiners. Most external assessments, however, are the written examinations that students sit for in May of the second year of their course. IB refers to these examinations as papers. Students will sit for 2 to 3 papers, depending on the course. These papers are externally scored by IB examiners using a criterion rubric. External assessments can count for anywhere between 60 to 80% of the final score for the course. These are a few examples of how scores are broken down. For language acquisition courses, there's an internal assessment which counts for 25% of the final score, and there are 2 papers. Paper 1 is worth 25% of the final score, and paper 2 is worth 50% of the final score. These papers are externally marked. History of the Americas has an internal assessment and then 3 papers that are externally scored. The internal assessment is worth 20% of the final score. The 3 externally assessed papers are worth a combined 80% of the final score. Design Tech has an internal assessment making up 40% of the final score. This is the greatest amount an internal assessment can be valued at. There are 2 externally assessed papers making up the final 60% of the score. In late March 2020, IB announced the cancellation of May examinations. External assessments for language and literature, Latin, and for courses in the arts group were still collected and assessed externally. It was the May papers or the examinations that were canceled. Once IB made the decision to cancel the May examinations, they developed a process that would allow them to still issue scores with fidelity. This process required WL and schools worldwide to send every internal assessment paper to IB. Our teachers had already scored the IAs and provided the scores. We were required to submit teacher scores as well as their comments about each IA. IB examiners then marked every internal assessment based on the student work and the teacher comments. Next, IB undertook an analysis of data from the past 5 years. Both individual school data and worldwide data was examined. They looked at IA scores, predicted grades, and final scores. Using their findings, they developed a process for determining final scores for this past year's students. Scores were issued in July 2020. Looking to the new school year, IB has acknowledged that the COVID-19 pandemic is impacting learning. To that end, they have issued adjustments to the assessments for the May 2021 cycle. These changes affect many but not all subjects. Changes could include modifications to papers or in some cases elimination of papers. This graphic is the first page of a document issued by IB on August 12, 2020. The document outlines changes to assessments that IB has announced for this coming school year. This document will be posted on the WL IB webpage. These are the three courses. These are the assessments for the 3 courses we looked at a bit earlier in this presentation. Changes to assessments for May 2021 are noted in pink. As you can see in these examples, there are different levels of changes. Language acquisition assessments and History of the Americas assessments have been modified by removing portions of the papers. The listen-in component has been removed from paper 1 of the language acquisition course, and there has been a decrease in the number of questions that students will be required to respond to in the History of the Americas course papers. A more extreme modification is the complete removal of a paper. As you can see in this example, paper 1 for Design Tech has been completely removed, as has the Group 4 project. These changes have been made to accommodate the world situation we find ourselves in. IB is empathetic with students in schools regarding the COVID-19 pandemic and how it has disrupted students' academic pursuit as well as their personal lives. They have made these changes in order to acknowledge the challenging situation we are facing and to provide a more realistic expectation. As of now, IB examinations for May 2021 are scheduled to begin on April 30th and run through May 21st. We are still awaiting an updated schedule that will reflect the changes in the assessments. Once we have a newer schedule, then we will post it to our website. Please continue to check the WL website for updates regarding IB classes and the IB Diploma program. As always, the WL staff is committed to ensuring that students are supported in their academic pursuits as well as in their social and emotional development. Please reach out with any questions. Currently, the best way to make contact with us is through email. You can email Ms. Diana Velasquez, the Administrative Assistant to the IB Diploma Program, at diana.velasquez@apsva.us, or you can contact me, Julie Cantor, the IB Diploma Program Coordinator, at julie.cantor@apsva.us. Please stay safe and well.